Hey folks, Doc Hanley here again. I want to talk today about a very serious subject. I want to talk about credit cards. And if you're like me, you rely a lot on a credit card. I buy a lot of things on the internet, and you really have a hard time buying on the internet without a credit card. I've had a GM credit card for over 20 years and had an excellent track record. My credit rating, at least up until 2 or 3 weeks ago, was ran 795 to 800, which is considered excellent. And so I was really surprised to learn that my credit card had been blocked. And so anyhow, I contacted the folks that issued the GM credit card, and they wanted to verify my identity through a cell phone. Uh, well, actually, through a phone that's in our name. Well, our home phone is a computer phone, and they say that it's too easily hacked, so they wouldn't let me verify my identity with my computer phone. We've got 3 cell phones, but the iPhone is we pay it month by month, so it's not really identified with us. And we got a couple of what you might call burner phones that we use to travel with, so those aren't identified with us. So the upshot is they said I had to verify my identity with a telephone or a cell phone, but none of our phones were sufficient for doing that. So, it was really distressing to me. And so they promised that they would send me an affidavit to get notarized to prove that I am who I am. Well, they never sent it. So I called back again, and we jumped through all the hoops again. And again, they promised to send me through the mail an affidavit to get it notarized and to prove who I am. Well, the upshot is they never sent it. And I found out that there was a fraud alert on my account, and I don't know why. I've had actual fraud on my account before, and they took care of it within a day or two, but this is just a fraud alert. But they had my card blocked and no way to unblock it. So, as far as I'm concerned, the ball is in the court of GM card now. If they want to unblock my card, I'll use it, and if they don't, sayonara to GM card. There are a lot of credit cards out there, but I found out with your card, with a fraud alert on your credit, it's hard to get a card. So I applied for a Wells Fargo card, which appeared to be a really good card. Same thing. They wanted to verify through a cell phone. And anyway, I finally got them to verify that it was me. So I sent in the application, and a few days later, they said that Equifax told them that the income that I listed wasn't my real income. So the only thing I can figure is I've got retirement income, I've got Social Security income, but a lot of my income is through capital gains distributions and stock dividends and interest. So, you know, I counted all my income, which is what I pay income tax on. So evidently Equifax didn't know anything about that. I called Equifax to get that straightened out, and they said I'd have to send them a photocopy of this and a photocopy of that. And I told them in no vulgar way where to go and hung up. So then I called Wells Fargo. They said, well, verify your income, send us documents. Well, I had 2 documents on retirement income. I had 1 document on Social Security income, and I had about 12 documents on dividends and capital gains distributions and interest, blah, blah, blah. They had a self-addressed postpaid envelope, so I stuffed it all in there, filled it up pretty tight, and sent it in. I said, well, they've got everything, so it'll just be a matter of days until I get my card. Well, rocked on more than a week, no card. So I called Wells Fargo, and they said, well, you've got to verify your income. I said, I've sent in copies of all my income documents. They took about 10 minutes to check, and they said, well, we never received it. And I'm stupefied. I don't know what to do. I said, well, I've sent it in your postpaid self-addressed envelope. You should have gotten it. Well, we don't have it. So I figure what happened is they had a postage limit on that envelope, because I probably had about 3 ounces of materials in there, and they probably had a limit on how much postage they would pay, and they denied it when it came in overweight. That's all I can figure. I don't know. Maybe it's something else. Maybe somebody there lost it. Maybe it's lost in the mail. Maybe an employee at Wells Fargo absconded with it and is going to hack into my accounts. I don't know. I hope that's not it. But anyway, to make a long story short, I've been without a credit card for about probably 5 or 6 weeks, and that's put a real hurt on me. I have made a couple of 3 payments with my debit card. I've got a Charles Schwab debit card that I've got for traveling overseas, because they don't charge me any foreign transaction fees. They give me a good exchange rate. If I have any ATM fees, they refund them. So, if you're going to travel overseas with a debit card, the Charles Schwab debit card is the best one to have. But I hate to use my debit card on the internet, because you really don't have a lot of protection with a debit card. You got a lot of protection with a credit card against fraud, but with a debit card, it's much more limited. So I'm trying to abstain from using a card until I get a new one. Well, then I applied to Synchrony Bank for a card, and so lo and behold, they contact me and say, there's a fraud alert on your account. We got to verify your identity. So they asked me everything but my shoe size, and I gave it to them. They said, now what you've got to do, they sent me an email, and it told I had to take a 5-second video of my face doing like this, and I had to take a photo of the front and back of my driver's license. And so I've submitted those electronically, and anyway, I called them then to verify they got it. They got it, and they checked about 10 minutes, and they said, well, your card's approved. You'll have it within 7 to 10 days. So I've only got about a week left to do without a credit card. But the reason I'm telling you this is I guess there's so much fraud in the United States that the credit card companies are getting really gun shy about verifying identities. And don't be surprised if you have to jump through a lot of hoops to get a credit card or to get one replaced. Now, I assume if there's no fraud alert on your account that it's still fairly easy to do. I've done it within a matter of a minute or two in the old days, but not anymore. But if you got a fraud alert on your account, you're going to have to jump through a lot of hoops to get out of that trap. And anyway, that's kind of my horror story about credit cards. And my message to you is be very careful about using your credit card. Don't do anything that might make them think it's somebody besides you using it. I don't know. I've used my credit card in past years. I've ordered a lot of stuff. I got a powered parachute wing from Israel. I get stuff from China all the time. India, I've ordered from not South America, but Mexico. I've ordered from different overseas companies with my credit card for years and years, but now all of a sudden things are getting kind of difficult. So be very careful with your credit card, and hopefully I'll get my new one within a week or so, and I can get back to living normally. But I really didn't realize how much I depend on my credit card until I got a fraud alert on my account. So I'm here to say, if you get a fraud alert, be ready to jump through some hoops. It's frustrating. If you got a cell phone that's in your name, it may be fairly easy. I don't have that. We got 3 cell phones, none of them are in our name as such. If your landline is in your name, it shouldn't be a big problem. I use a computer phone. The reason I do that, I was paying about $100 a month for a landline telephone, and I got a Magic Jack and hooked my phones to the computer, and now I'm paying $50 a year for phone service. So I'm saving nearly over $1,000 a year by using a computer phone, and I'm not going to change that just to have a phone in my name. But anyway, and it is in my name, but they said that computer phones can be hacked very easily, so they can't use it to verify identity. So just a word of warning to all of you, and tell you about my own personal horror story. I got really frustrated. I mean, terribly frustrated. Every way I turned, I got slapped down. So finally, thanks to Synchrony Bank, I'm getting a credit card, and you know, the GM card, if they want to bend over and unblock my account, I'll keep it. If they don't, I can tell them where to go. They don't want to know, but I can tell them, because I'm not going to do anything else to get that account unblocked. I'm tired of the GM card. And so anyway, this is Doc Hanley saying so long to all of you, and God bless you, and I hope you'll press the like button, and more importantly, subscribe to the channel so you'll know when I post something new. It doesn't cost a cent. All it does is let you know when I have a new post up. And thanks a lot. I got a really good post coming up in the near future. I'm going to be interviewing a person about a horrific train wreck over 100 years ago, and it's one that never was publicized. So I hope you'll tune in later for that. Thanks, and God bless.